Hey, 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 it's me again. See, I always have to work for this volume thing for some reason. Hey, can you hear me? I'm pretty sure. I hope so. Let's see. How's everybody doing this evening? Today is January the 7th, 2026. Again, we are in the new year already. And let's see. I think I might have got it fixed. Let me take it off there. What about there? No echo. Yeah. All right. All right. Um, so we are here. Let's see. Still hear a little echo somewhere. Testing. Yeah, and I already tested it, so I don't know why it keeps doing that. But see if that's better. Texting. Yep, that's better. All right, how's everybody doing? We are live and in color. Hi, Miss Stratton. How you doing? How you doing? We are again blessed to be here. Those who are joining us, but we are thankful and grateful that we have made it another year. We are tuning in on our YouTube page right now, Uttering Town YouTube page, and I hope everybody's. I see a lot of people. I see some people are connecting. we are we are. Yeah, I see. Somebody else is going to hit me up right now. Uh, but we are, today is Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026. And we are going live again out in town, and we will, and still doing in person as well too. So we are just waiting for a few people to, they told me they were going to be here. But we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start off with prayer. Good Lord, thank you for blessing us to see another day. Thank you for just giving us grace and mercy and allowing us to live another day. We are blessed to be on the other side of the green grass, and we are here kicking and moving for you, and just going to testify to be able to be a better person, a better soldier for you in your army. And we are just truly blessed. And thank you, Lord, for the sick and shut in. Just continue to bless them and bless their minds and their souls and their bodies, and give them the hope that you are going to grant them in grace and mercy, so they can continue to push on, even when they're feeling down and out. But just continue to bless them and bless all the entire congregation, and then all the fellow churches that are around, and the pastors as well, and continue covering them as we go on to do better and great things for you in your kingdom. In Jesus' name, amen. Like I said, we are studying right now out of Luke. But as I always do, last week we went over how we connect everything, connect the dots. I always say we want to connect the dots. Last week we went over 1 John 1, 5 through 10, and how it connects to Luke 15 and 11. The scripture tells us that you always have to believe and trust in God whenever His mercies are granted upon us. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and post on here so I can make sure people can hear me. And hi. Hi. And so our first banner for today. So again, our scripture focus is the parable of the lost son, which is most people name this story that Jesus did as the parable of the lost son. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we did the lost sheep, where we did the lost sheep. Uh, it was 99 of them that was left, and there was one that was lost, and Jesus went out to find him. And we was talking about how you had to go through all kinds of things, and Jesus went through a lot of things. We were talking about in the dark, animals. It was treacherous things out there, snakes and all kinds of things that was out there that he went through trying to find his sheep. So he just didn't find the sheep. Um, just didn't find the sheep, right off the top. He went through hell and high water to get to that sheep. So so we talked about that, and just like in our times in our days, right now we go through heck and high water um, every day. Sometimes every day. Sometimes it just doesn't stop. So he went just how he went through all that strife and all of that. We did the same. We're doing the same thing as we navigate through this thing called life down here on earth, where we see that it's torturous and treacherous, and people are just mean and you know we going through it. We go through it. So the scripture focus is the parables of the lost son, and we're going through verses 11 through 24 in Luke. So again, I put up the Bible verse again. I mean, what we're doing, and then so if someone gets lost, Luke 15:11 to 24, and then we'll go through the two verses in Acts. But again, um, Luke 15, verses 11 through 24. And again, this is one of Jesus's parables, one of his stories, and we know that Jesus told these stories because he wanted people to relate. And it's the same thing with us. We want people to relate to what we're talking about, and it's something that we're trying to explain. So he thought best for it to be like a story. So his a parable is just like the story of something. And just like he had the parable of the lost sheep, the parable of the lost coin, this one was about parable of a lost son. We know, like, let's say if you're a parent and your son or your daughter um, doesn't do what you tell them to do, and we consider that being, bad or mischievous, or someone, or our kids is just, not doing the right thing. In this case, what we're talking about, it's a lost son, and how everybody relates to this is we go out when we were young, 17, 18 years old. We couldn't wait to get out of our house. We just couldn't wait to get out. It was just like, soon we get out of here, we ain't gonna have to get up in the mornings. We're not gonna have to wash all these dishes. We're not gonna have to be able to, do this, because go to bed at this certain time. We're gonna be able to just do whatever we wanted to do because we just couldn't wait to get out. Yeah, we just could not wait to get out of the house. And the same with the parables right now of the lost son. He couldn't wait. He could not wait to get out of there. He just couldn't wait. Uh, and as you can see, as when we start reading, you will see how it really how the lost son, really relates to us when we were 17 and 18, wanted to get out. I know my little story is I was 18 years old, just went into the military, and I was just like, I just could not wait to get out. I wanted to be able to get my own clothes. I wanted to go to bed whenever I wanted to. Wanted to go to the store and get whatever I wanted. Wanted to eat whatever I wanted to eat. It was all about me. It was all about me. I wanted to listen to whatever music I wanted to listen to. I didn't have to go to church when I didn't want to, and because I was made to go all through my young age. So I didn't have to do what my grandmother wanted me to do. I didn't have to do what my mom wanted me to do. I just wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. And imagine you were the same way. Just imagine when you were 17, 18 years old, you wanted to go do your own thing, and you did it. You did it. This lost son, we're going to see Jesus continued. He said there was a man, when he was telling the story, he said there was a man who had two sons, and he was just telling his story. And just like I told you, before, when when the Lord wanted to tell to relate to what he wanted to tell, he told a story. So he said it was a man who had two sons. And verse 12 says, the younger one said to his father, Father, give me my share of the estate. So he divided his property. So this one, he wanted to take his inheritance, what he was going to get, and go away. He wanted to, let me see, he wanted to, let me see, he wanted to take his inheritance and go. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't care about what was going on in the world. He wanted his inheritance. So he told his father, Father, get me my stuff now. You know, and you can imagine that 18 years, I want my stuff and I want it now. Give me all my stuff. And so um, just think back again, think back when you were young and how you wanted your stuff. I wanted my freedom. I wanted my freedom. And I wanted it and I wanted it now. So um, in verse 12, it says the younger one said to his father, give me my share of the estate so I can so his father divided it. He divided it. He said, okay, son, you want your stuff? If you want it, I'm gonna give it to you. And just imagine if you had uh all of the riches that you could get at 17 and 18 years old, how in your mind, I know in my mind, I was just like, I was ready to go. I wanted to go buy this. I wanted to buy a TV. I wanted to have shoes because I didn't get shoes like that. I told a story how I was wearing penny loafers. Those of y'all know who those are, what those are, and penny loafers. And then I never had a pair of Nikes. I never had a pair of Adidas. I saw Run DMC all my life, being young, and I wanted a pair of Adidas, and I couldn't afford it, couldn't get them. But so I was ready to go. And I was basically telling God, tell your son Jesus, give me my inheritance now because I can go out here and do what I want to do for myself. And I wanted to get away. So that's what he wanted to do. And so his father divided his property between him and his brother. Um, and we're not going to talk about the other brother, but we're going to talk about this one, the lost son. But because his other son did not do what his brother did, what his little brother did, he did something different. But this focus right now is on the lost son. And again, the younger son, the younger one said to his father, "Father, give me my share." And his father divided it. Not long after the younger son got together all that he had, he set off to a distant country and he left. He rode out. He said, "You know what, Father? I don't want to be here no more." Just like me, I went into the military. I said, I didn't want to be here in Dayton, Ohio no more. I need to go. I needed to get ghost. I needed to go. This son did the same thing. He said, no. He said, Father, thank you for the inheritance, but I gotta go. I gotta go. And he left. And just like you say, as it says, not long after that, the younger son got together all he had and set off to a distant country. And there he squandered his wealth in wild living. So what he did, he went out there and splurged, drinking and partying and doing all of this, and buying women and just buying up everything, spending up, and it wasn't wise at all. He did whatever he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it, when he wanted to do it, spent how much he wanted to do, and took life for granted. And that's what we do. We take life for granted. He did the same thing. He took life for granted. He said, I'm going to do this the way I want to do it, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and nobody's going to tell me nothing different. So he took all his money. He took his money and rolled out, just like us. And what happens right now if we hit the lottery? It was just $1 billion or more. If we hit that $1 billion, we would have took that money and said, you know what? I'm leaving Kentucky. I'm leaving Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm going to another state. I'm going somewhere else to splurge and have my fun. I'm going to have my cake and eat it too. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to have a new car. I'm going to have a new house. I'm going to have a new clothes. I'm going to spend, 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 spend. That's us. That's what we want to do in life right now. We want to do those things. And he focused on having fun. He focused on doing what he wanted to do. But again, we just can't do what we want to do when it comes to God giving us what our inheritance is going to be. But just like him, he wanted to do what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, and he did it. And he did it. And the paper's up on there. And he wanted to do what he wanted to do. So, hey. So again, as we want to, as we do as young people, um, we want to splurge, and he did that. We're on right now. We're talking about uh, the lost son. Jesus was telling us the parable, and you should have the Bible verse. Everything should be there. Hi, honey. Hi. She smiled for once. So, yeah. So we're on again. We are right now. We're on the second. I mean, well, verse 12. Uh, Yeah, and see, I go over the first. The first part is we're talking about a parable of the lost son, and Jesus was telling one of his stories. A couple of weeks ago we was talking about the lost sheep. So this one is about the lost son. So Jesus was telling disciples about a story about a young son who was lost, and so um, you know, so like when you were younger, if you would have got an inheritance, you would have probably did what he did. He wouldn't splurged. Yeah, he went and splurged and did whatever he wanted to do, um, and that's where we was. And that's when verse 11, where he asked this what Jesus said that you have two. He had was telling a story about two sons, and the younger one said to his father, "Hey, I want my inheritance, and I want it now. I want it." And his father said, "Okay, I'll divide it between you and your brother," and he gave it to him. And as it says, the father gave him his share of his estate, and so he divided the property. And then in verse 13, it says, not long after that, the younger son got together all he had and set off for a distant country, and there he squandered his wealth and in doing wild living. So again, what kind of wild living you thought he was doing? Right, right. Possibly doing the same thing that we would do. And that ain't no lie. We go and say we want to do our things the way we wanted to do it. But yeah, he took his money, he took his inheritance, and yeah, the paper's up there. Took his inheritance and rode out. He went to a whole nother part of the country. Hey, hi, good evening, good evening. Huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm He didn't. Yeah, he didn't want no evidence, n- nothing what he was doing. He said, "Forget that. I'm gone. I'm gone." Yeah, I mean, you got to remember he was young, so just like us, I said, well, I was ready to go get out the house when I was 18 years old. I was, just graduated. Nobody could tell me nothing what to do. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna have fun, and nobody's gonna tell me what to do. So yeah. Y'all walk in and say, that sounds familiar already, huh? hmm So again, like you could imagine what your son was, what your son, he had an inheritance, and he wanted to go splurge. Verse 14 said after he spent everything, I mean, he was out of every all the inheritance he had, it was gone quickly. Verse 14, it was gone. And like I said, just imagine you had all this money. I just said, what happened if we would have hit that money for the $1 billion? You look at you say, yeah. See, you was gonna be up out of here. Hey, I got somewhere to go. I got somewhere to be. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing different. I'm out. I got $1 billion. Take the taxes. I don't care. Take the taxes, but I'm about to go. And just that's I can't say that I would do anything different. I can't say I will hold on to the money and because right now in this lifetime we want to go. We want to have good things. We want good things. Like you said, you buy land. I was gonna buy a house. I was gonna buy cars. You know, what else can I buy? What else money can buy? That's what I'll be saying. What else money can buy? You probably could run. You can't. I mean, you can't run out of things because I mean, houses, cars, clothes, food. See, I was just about to say, but what about? So you saying he wasn't after he spent all his money, he wasn't happy? I mean, but why not? Reality it does strike you back. It does, but still, it should have been. It was. I was happy while I was spending it. Let's just say that. So the money did buy me some happiness, and it was buying him some happiness because he was splurging. Yeah, but I had money to do for the time being. For the time being, but that money, um, even though he squandered it that fast, what ways do you think that other than money was buying me happiness at the time? How would you be feeling? You would feel like you're on top of the world, though, wouldn't you? You, I know, like I said, I would definitely feel like I was on top of the world. I would definitely feel like hey, I got this money and nobody can take it away from me, and
Is it back on?
It's back on. I think it should be back on now. I think technology always like to go away for some reason. Technology don't like us. Technology don't like us sometimes out here for some reason. Okay, so let's go back 15 because I don't think they heard it. What did 15 say again?
And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into the field to feed the swine.
So they made him. He went to the. He went to the land, and he wanted. He went to the. He wanted. He became a citizen person. That's to say, he became a citizen. And then while he became a citizen, he went out and started working in the fields. Working in the fields, he was working in the pigs with swines. And is that nasty? I don't think that's nasty.
Oh, yeah.
The pigs are nasty.
Yeah, they make some money nasty, and I don't really have to, they got dead in the blood.
You have to feed pigs?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. No, I'm what we did. No, thank you. You better sit and go out here.
So when you was feeding, the pigs, you got money?
I mean, if you have, you have to go over there for some reason. Yeah, but you know, in the slot.
Oh, you bonus?
Yeah,
What's slot?
it's slot.
What's slot?
It's anything that you didn't let you take left over in the house.
Oh.
You put it in 5-gallon buckets and either corn, you know, whatever.
Wow. So y'all just did it like that. Wait, but there wasn't nowhere over here though, right?
Yes, over the next lane. We country.
Our country.
Over the next lane, we did.
Wow. So y'all was acting just like here. So, but, so the food that you can't, I mean that y'all was throwing away, y'all was feeding the pigs. And so y'all just had it in the 5-gallon bucket and just throw it over.
Go to the and all their old bread they give to the home man, and he give them the bread.
Oh, okay. Okay. You didn't want none of that?
No.
Oh, okay. So you can admit that, I mean, you can relate to him that it was dirty.
Muddy.
Buddy?
Mud.
Yeah. So, I mean, but what about when it rained? Did I go out there again?
We just throw it on the film, see, we can have to go in and mother.
Okay. But he was in the book.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
This young man was he was a citizen now, and he was in the farms, and he was out there in the fields, and he was out there with the swine. And then, so what did it say in verse 16?
He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him any.
He longed to fill his stomach, so he was hungry. He was hungry. So now first he had all this money. He went and splurged it, did all kinds of things that made him happy. Then he spent so much he got in the overdraft. He overdrawed himself. Then he went out and joined the citizens, and he was out here in the fields, feeding the swine, and then he was hungry. And why did he eat the slop? If he was hungry, why didn't he eat that? But he did. He did what now?
He longed to fill his stomach.
He longed to fill his stomach.
With the cards that put the nuts.
It was that bad that he wanted to eat the husk. He was that hungry. He was hungry.
Yes.
I mean, but how could you let yourself get this bad after having all that money?
That is true.
How do we do that? How do we have a lot
and then it's gone like that. I mean, how does this happen?
Ego.
So he didn't have any control. So how can we relate to something like that?
You buy TVs, cars.
I was saying so. So you saying when tax time come up, people buy TVs, cars,
Unnecessary.
So-
Look at their house and say, why did I do
it, okay,
No.
okay. So you said tax time, people like me, I go out and buy TVs, and then TVs to get new couches, to get all this because I got all this money that came on with tax time. So that's how we relate to him. And then at the end we home.
Yes.
Mm. Well, so you saying we can relate that way? Because we know at tax time we get that one. Okay. All right. I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I can see how you relating what he did to tax time. What about every 2 weeks when I get a paycheck? Is it the same way?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
You go out and
No.
because you don't know how to budget. So obviously he didn't know how to budget. So his tool, one of his tools was finances. So he was bad in finance. He didn't, so his math and all that other stuff just didn't work out for him. So one of his tools wasn't finance. But he did have faith though, didn't he? He had faith.
Yes, I say
Because he got the money, he was ready to go.
yes.
He had courage. He had will. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, but he was broke. Now he was broke down, didn't have nothing, didn't have no money. He had to join the citizens, and he was out there putting his swine. He was working and working and working. He was hungry, that hungry that he wanted to eat. Huh.
My goodness.
So Huts was almost like females,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Hard. So he wanted to eat his fingernail. That's how bad it was. So you know how sometimes you say, I'm so hungry I can eat my toenails. Well, he was really doing it. That's right. You see, he was eating his toenails. He wanted to eat toenails. That bad. Oh, that's his plan. So verse 17. Let's move up.
And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my fathers have bread enough, to spare, and I'm perish with hunger.
So it said, now the light went off in his head.
Yes.
He came to his senses, it said. It says he came to his senses. Hmm. He came to his senses. Now, I done had all this money. I spent it all.
Yes.
I exhausted every little funds that I had that I dedicated for his inheritance. I had all the fun I could, but I wanted to. Go ahead and go 15. I had all this money, I just had it going on. Now, I got broke. I had to eat with I had to go out here and feed the swine, work with the swine. I was so hungry. But then now my senses came back. Oh, so now you got common sense. So who's telling him now, oh, you got common sense? Jesus said in the story, now he got common sense. What's common sense again? What's common sense? Wake up calls.
Yeah.
Oh, crack. What have I done? I done spent all of my money, all my inheritance. I'm broke. I ain't got no food. I ain't got no car. Just like we are in today's society. And you see how people get homeless.
Yes.
It's the same way This guy was basically, he was the same way, homeless.
Yes,
But the Lord takes you through some things, right?
yes.
He got taken through. I was doing whatever I wanted to do. I was happy. To now I'm at the scum. I'm like the scum of the earth, homeless. Now I'm homeless. I don't have nothing. Nobody can tell me nothing. Can you at least give me some bread? Can I get something? Now I came to my senses. Now my senses that I messed up. I done messed up. I done messed up my money. Have y'all been in that situation where I said I done messed up my money?
Yeah.
Too many times. So we can relate to him right now, like I done messed up this money. Now, again, but I know from my years from 18 when I started getting my own tax money to I was there one buying TVs and PlayStations and but you know I was there but doing this. Come on, I wasn't by myself. Y'all was there with me.
Yeah,
Y'all did it too.
yeah.
We acted like him and we just wanted to just get what we wanted. But we came to that aha moment that
Yes.
I shouldn't have did that. What have I done? I'm done messing up. I ain't doing this no more. And God, if you can get me out of this, I ain't gonna do it no more. I ain't gonna do it. And then what happened next time? We do it again. So you ain't learning your lesson. But it is our fleshly desire. It is. It is. It truly is our fleshly desires. We want what we want when we want it. And the way we relate to it more is that we doing it on an annual basis, every April. And then you wonder why it's all a setup. They put it on it. Why do you think they put all the sales in April? Tax time. They know you want everybody wants people.
And it's not on sale.
It's not.
No.
But that's what they want. That's what the world wants us to believe is that in April, when you get your tax money, you're supposed to have this TV. You're supposed to have this 86-inch TV.
But they want people, yeah. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
And then, yes, you get it, and then it's up there, and you feel good that you got an 86-inch TV.
Then you work because you broke.
But then
So you can't watch it.
and you can't watch it because you're working so much. You're working. Just trying to get back to. I'm gonna watch TV on my 86-inch TV. But I'm working so much, I can't even watch it. But I got me an 86-inch TV. I'm okay. I ain't doing this no more. This is the last time I ain't doing this no more. I'm not doing it no more. And then what happens? It's an annual thing that happens in April. They say we got to an 98-inch TV now. That's all you say.
iPhone, this, and every year everybody wants a different phone. They gonna make the camera a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better.
I tried to go back to the phone.
Why are you talking about me? I do that too. You talked about me right in the deal. You talked about me. Lord have mercy. What am I gonna do with her?
I tell you.
So everybody wants the latest iPhone. Yes.
Yes, it's true.
Yes. Everybody wants the latest iPhone.
I can't work for that.
But that's again,
It's
you
true.
want the new
They gotta wait
stuff.
about it. I hear them talking about it. I hope they do it.
And it comes out like 4 business every year. Okay. But again, what verse 18 say? Verse 18.
I am no longer. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you.
So he went to his father. He said, I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against
heaven and against you. So right now, he's already saying, I'm planning. So this is how we do when we give you stuff. I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to my dad and hope that he gonna give me some more money and tell him that, oh, Dad, I said against you and God. If you help me, if you help me, that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
We say, I'm gonna go back to my daddy and be like, I'm gonna go back to my mom. I go back to my mom and say, Mama, I just don't have it no more, and I didn't mean to do it against you. I know this ain't what you wanted me to do. You want me to be a better son, but I just had to have that at the time. And my girlfriend, she said she wanted some new shoes and she wanted some new this and wanted some new that. And then I had to get the same level as her, and I had to get the same thing. And now I don't have anything, but now I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. But can you just help me? Right, see, so how do you go back to your parents and say, I'm failing? How do you do it? If your son and daughter came back to you and said, I failed, Mom, I failed, Dad, I failed, what would you say? What's the first thing you're gonna say to them?
Well, it's not.
I told you so. I said, come on, man. I told you so. Hard head, you know what, hard head, so come on.
So you were telling, or tell him that I told you so. You didn't listen to me. But
Thank you.
what is your next step? Is your next thing is to give up on me?
Would I give up on them?
Yes.
No. Tell them to get a job. I wouldn't give up.
You tell them to get a job. So if they come back home, tell them get a job, do what you gotta do, recover, and then get out. I ain't being no kid. I'm being. I said I wasn't being her kid. That's what I just said. I don't want you to tell, but I'm messed up.
Yeah. First, we get there. That's what he said.
Oh, the first thing you would do is give them an inheritance in the first place.
Now then, I-
Okay. All right. But how do now that I'm back home, I'm back. I want to come back home. Mom, can I come back home? That's first thing. Can I come back home? Daddy, can I come back home? That's all I want to do. I just want to come back home.
most parents will let the kids come back home with some rules. Yeah.
With rules.
Yeah.
So now, but what if I want to stay out all night? I can't do that. I can't come in when I want to.
That's against the rules.
That's against the rules. But
Get your own place.
so you start. So you want me to completely start over. In other words, that's when you tell me to start over. As a parent, you want me to start over. But how many? If we can, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago about how many. I think I told you how many kids are not talking to their parents, and I said it came up with a lot. So, in other words, you're telling me that parents are failing the kids, or is it the kids that's failing the parents? Which one? It could be either one, right?
Disappointment to the parents if kids get out of line and don't want to listen, that's a disappointment. But as a loving mother or daddy, you probably can take them back if they ain't, if they listen to some rules. Yeah.
So as long as they come back and listen to rules, they okay with coming back home.
If they don't want to get the rules, then they can get their own place.
Okay, but so in his case, he wanted to say, I wanted to come back home, came back home, and he was happy to come back home. And then what did it say in verse 19?
Have no longer worthy to be son. Make me like one of your parents men.
So he said,
now I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So he's basically saying, just make me, let me be able to work again. Let me start over. That's what he's saying. Let me start over. Because I sinned against God, I sinned against you. But so let me start over. Let me start over. How many of us say that that's good? That's a good thing to do. You think it's a stand up? He was stand up person to be able to just say, "Can I start over? Can I start over?" No, I don't want you to start over. I want you to do what you got to do to get back on your feet. Is that the right? Could I say that?
Get on his feet, yeah. Mhm. Give him a chance.
So is it okay? So let me ask you this: is it mandatory that you give me a second chance? Why not? It's not mandatory,
That come from the heart.
but I'm your son.
You messed up.
I messed up. I took my inheritance. I lived like a pig. I lived like this and I lived like that. But now I'm back home. You owe me this. You owe me this because I'm your son.
If you want to start over and you're sorry you messed up, that's different.
Mhm. But you don't owe me. In other words, you don't owe me. Yeah, owe me. Yeah, you don't owe me. You don't think so? But I'm your son. You supposed to.
You gonna give him the job out in the field again? God, he gives us chances. Yeah, you gotta give him jobs. You know, go in, but you would be grateful in a second chance.
So I don't. So as a parent, you don't owe your kids anything. Okay, she said that you do.
You gotta be there for him.
He said you owe them, so do I owe Reggie something? No, he said you owe your child something. And you said yes. You don't owe nothing. Your parents don't owe you nothing. They have raised you.
I know.
So as a parent, as a parent, if the parent says, "I'm going to give you a second chance. I want to make sure that you get back on your feet. I'm going to allow you come back. I'm going to let you come and work in the field just so you can make your money back. But what I'm not going to do is just start giving you whatever you want." That's what you're saying, right? You okay? So you don't owe them nothing. You owe them a love. I owe you. Uh, that's it. love, and then my desire is to make sure that you're okay. But I don't owe you any money. I don't owe you. Okay, so you get some selfish kids that comes back and they say, "Well, can I borrow the car? Wreck the car." So now you're out of a car. How do you feel about that? So you owe me. You owe me. You said I can go to work. Okay, make the money and get your car. So so I can't borrow your car. So how am I going to get to work if you want to keep me to have a job? Bus, walk.
Well, Uber, Lyft, taxes, they ain't no money. I was looking at definitely.
But the kids in this lifetime right now think that you owe them something, right? So they think that you owe them to start over. You should be able to treat me just like I was when I was a teenager.
TV.
See, social media, TV. So you saying they get it from TV, social media?
The friends, mom, they get certain ways, so if they want you to do stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So in verse 21, the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, quick, bring me the best robe, put it on him, put a ring on his finger and sandals and on his feet. So do you think his father was coddling him?
I think Father was glad to see him come back.
Okay, so you saying his father did that or said that because he was happy that he came back. He missed him. So you said he missed his son. And so that's why he said he told everybody to go, told his servants to go get all of this out of love. He said, so he did it out of love.
Yeah.
Not that he owed him. He did it out of love.
He did.
He did it out of love. So even though our kids messed up, they put you through the ringer. They put you through hell and high water. They wreck your car. They accidentally take some change out of your purse. Accident. Accidentally took some money out of your wallet. Dad. I accidentally took the money out the wallet. So they did all that, and you say you don't owe them anything, but you still got love for them.
Yeah. I say you got love him, but you got to teach him too.
So you say I should be taught what? Tough love? That's what you taught?
Yes. And there are some rules to follow.
And you give them rules.
Yeah.
Okay, then what if I accidentally slip up in your wallet go missing? And your wallet go missing on accident, and then your purse go missing.
Oh, no. Wallet, no.
I mean, but you owe me, but you're giving me your love by bringing me back home.
Tough love.
Tough love,
You gotta go.
you gotta go.
Oh,
So you said I gotta go now. I gotta go. But you just sent me back home after I was spent my hair.
We give you another chance.
that's when we are here. God give us a chance and we mess up.
So when we mess up, God gives a chance. Right? Right.
And he chastises us too.
Over and over again.
He chastises us too.
You said they need chastising. Okay. So y'all didn't hear that. She said his punishment's hurt. Yeah. So if it was up to me, being that I'm coming back home, I'm asking you, can I have, you're saying you're gonna give me the job, you're gonna let me work in the field, make some money, and I still do wrong. What do you do? Do you still love me, or you love me for a distance? What do you do?
But you got to put your foot down.
You gotta put the foot down somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So when Jesus was saying that, my son went off here. I mean, that these two boys.
Yeah.
One of the sons went off and did what they wanted to do. He wanted to come back home. At the end, he came back home, and he said to him, "Mom, Dad, I straightened up. I'm sorry, sin against you. You let me back in the house, and then I, did wrong again. You say that I should get other chances because God gives us chances, that I should get another chance. So I want another chance, but I end up accidentally taking my dad's money, and accidentally your purse ended up in my car on accident. So, or your medicine ended up in my, pocket. And then the mail, the mail that keeps expecting and stuff from Amazon is supposed to come in. And then it's not there, but they said this took a picture at their house and said this is delivered. But then I was the only one home, but somebody took a bird, so I'm still giving me a chance.
You got to be careful about the fact, so somebody delivered one at my house the other day, and it was supposed to be going to laying down the road. And I went down and tried to put a note on his mailbox, but it was locked. So he came out in the truck and I stopped, and he said he thought it was next door, but they put it right behind my car. But I went up to let him know that.
He said that your child stole your package.
I know, I'm just explaining to you what happened. Oh, I give up. Dig up. She listened
So my whole point is you're giving me chance after chance after chance after chance. And God has given us chance after chance after chance after chance.
Yes.
Well, when does my chances run out?
When you get that,
When it gets out?
he's listening, but he don't have a closed ear on the other side. I agree, but not.
So as parents, should we have a closed ear? Should we say enough is enough? Too much McNulty.
I mean, on the edge. I don't know. You love them, but sometimes you just gotta put your foot down like I say. See, if you keep doing wrong, you just get your own place. And that, we ain't supposed to go through that. I mean, you love them, but
We gotta learn.
it's a limit.
If you don't want to learn, it's something. You gotta learn the ways of life.
So the God give us tough love.
Yeah.
He does?
You know, but he don't want you to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Okay, but he doesn't want us to keep doing the same thing. You gotta learn. You gotta learn. So did the father mess up by telling his servants to go out there and get the best robe and put it on him? Put a ring on his finger and sandals? Was he wrong for doing that? No. But you say he was enabling. You said that it wasn't right. I mean, it was okay. She said it. She thinks that it was enabling him. Okay, what is it? Verse 23 says, he told him to bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. So basically, he was celebrating his son coming home, right? He was celebrating his son coming home, but his son, do you think that his son was taking this in as, okay, what do you think his son was taking this as? As it was something that my dad owed me? Could you say that? Because his dad is now saying, like, hey, my son's back home. I don't care about nothing else. My son's home. We could look at that and say that he was enabling him because Jesus didn't finish up and say what happened to, or did he say something happened at the end? Besides, they went and celebrated?
He admitted that he sinned against his father and God. So,
Okay, so you looking at that saying that, well, he changed his life around because he said that I did sin against God, I did sin against you, Father. I apologize.
so I think he learned something.
So you think he learned something? Okay, well, but what if he did it again? You said it's a limit, but at this point, out of love, you showing your son love by bringing him home, and now you're going to celebrate it. Just like we talked about with the sheep. Once they brought the sheep back, once Jesus brought the sheep back, what did they do? They celebrated. Right? And the parable right before this, when they was talking about the lost coin, they celebrated as well, right? So the magnitude of what they were doing, celebrating,
the return of the son, we should be celebrating, just like we just had a teenager just come back home that was missing, right? And they celebrated their return. You know, they arrested the guy, you know, that they found him in North Carolina, right? North Carolina or South Carolina, North Carolina, I think, in North Carolina. And they just celebrated her homecoming back, which is good. We're going to end there because that's the end of it. And I know we went over a little bit. I know y'all already know how I am. We went over a little bit, but I do want to show y'all some things, but I want to make sure we want to let me see. We want to congratulate, let me get myself on here. We want to celebrate Sister Vivian. She just sent me a message. She sent me a message and said they voted her as the president of the Lexington Historic Black Neighborhood Council. So she's the president of that. Yeah, they just wanted to tell her congratulations. That's a big, yeah. She gonna have a job to do. Yeah, if she's on here, congratulations, Vivian. Congratulations on being elected as the president of the Lexington Historic Black Neighborhood Council. So that happened today, a little earlier. But thank you for, yeah. So she's gonna be busy. She's gonna be busy. Thank you for that. And then also, before we go, I just wanted to show you guys a couple things that I have. Now we have some little trinkets. I say little trinkets. It's the tap, so you can bring your phone and just tap here. I told somebody I wasn't going to show y'all this, but I wanted to show y'all because I'm too excited to do it. But you just tap this with your phone, and it comes up, and then you just fill out with whatever, like if you want to say something to the pastor. Or this one right here is words from the pastor. So you tap on here. Somebody did something earlier, and I think it was one of my kids. She said that tell her something encouraging for school, and then I sent it to her. So that's what this one is for. So we have this one here, and then with this one, if you want prayer requests, you just tap it. Yeah. So I'll let y'all check it out. So yeah, I made these up, and then I made some for, like, if you want to give. These are magnets. You could put it on your refrigerator. Yeah, and you just put it on your refrigerator wherever you got metal. And then I want to show y'all before we go. Here are some of our tool belts. Remember, for our tool belts. This is the men. The men have these types right here. And then here go the female versions. Yeah. So these are our tool belts, and we'll be having having our tools walking around. These are, again, this is in the flesh. So we got our tool belts in, and then I made these. These are our tools. This represents, this one is faith right here. They go inside your bag. So y'all can pass it around. Look, it says faith, and this one is, if the men want a different color, but yeah. And then we have the other one is crosses for, they're red. Yeah.
Put on your finger.
Oh, and then also I got some of these. So these are hardbacks. So if you want to take them and put them in your wallets, in your wallet or your purses, and the men, they can put it in the cars or whatsoever, and then you can do the same thing. You can scan it. Like these, like I said, the other ones you can tap. You just tap it, and you just go right here and get. There it goes. It's just tap. And there you go. You just open it up and fill it out. Just like that. And that's what comes up. Prayer request, Uttertown Missionary Baptist Church. So yeah, we moving up a lot, doing some couple of things. Like I said, I couldn't wait to get it out. But yeah, those are some new things that we got coming out. and that we'll be working with. So I just want to let everybody know that. But other than that, I go ahead and somebody want to pray us out? I don't want to hold y'all up. Anybody? Oh, yeah, just put it up there. All right. So does anybody want to pray us out real quick? Okay.
In the state of the day, for 4 days, when we manage Bible study, thank you for giving us love, grace, and mercy to get us through the rest of the week, so we can return on Sunday. For those that were online, for them, and just thank you for the opportunity to fulfill your purpose through us and touch these young youth and touch the churches and the lost souls and your love right here.
Amen. Amen. All right. See you all later. See you all